scammed into taking out mortgages they couldn't afford. Now my next guest says they're getting scammed by the very people promising to help dig them out. Dani Babb is a real estate investor and author of Finding Foreclosures. Dani, good to see you. What is this about?
Well, Neil, there's two types of scams happening right now. The first one is called equity skimming, and this is where scammers basically find people on the internet because when they are late on their mortgage, a notice of default is filed, becomes public record. They contact the individual, the homeowner. They say, add me to title, and I'll pay the mortgage for a year, and then in a year's time, you can pay me a lump sum of money and take the home back. The problem is that this particular title entitles them to refinance or take out a home equity line. They take all the equity out of the home, then they let the home go back to the bank, and the homeowner is SOL.
And this is legal? This is legal?
No, it's absolutely not legal. The FBI is trying to crack down on this, but because these sites are up and down so fast on the internet, mostly hosted overseas, they're not able to get them.
Yeah, but how could anyone, there's a process before getting a title on a house and even a co-name title, so how could even local authorities let that happen?
Well, it's actually pretty easy. A quitclaim deed, for example, people use it all the time to transfer title between individuals. It's actually pretty easy in most states to transfer title between people. The second type, though, Neil, in my opinion, is even worse because what they're doing is coming in and saying, hey, I'm going to buy your house from you. You owe 150 grand, I'm going to give you 160, you get 10 grand. And then in 6 months or 2 years, when you can afford the house, you can buy it back from me. But what they do is they sell the house as soon as the homeowner signs the paperwork, and the homeowner has to leave, and that's it. They sell the house and take the equity.
Okay, so you're concerned, as someone big in real estate, that this is also going to devalue properties all the more, right?
Devalue properties, and Neil, you know what is so infuriating is the more the government offers stimulus plans, the more people are getting duped because these scammers are using the stimulus plans and saying, hey, this is part of the government's help for you. And they're using that as the reason that you should call them.
So people who naively signed on to mortgages they clearly didn't read, and they got in deep trouble. Now they're signing on to rescues they clearly didn't understand.
They don't understand, and if anything comes via the internet, you need to hit the delete button. Don't be responding to these solicitations. And people they're so desperate, and they want to save their home. They think that this is the light at the end the tunnel. It's actually an oncoming train that's going to make things so much worse for them. They need to not ever transfer money from person to person or company to company without going through a legitimate escrow company. They need to use banks. Walk into your local Bank of America if you want to refinance, and remember that only your bank can do a loan modification program. Some broker or someone down the street, they can't do it for you. Amazing.
You know, we keep repeating the same mistakes, Dani. Thank you.
So true, Neil.
Thank you very much. All right, Dani Babb, the real estate investor extraordinaire, joining us out of Irvine, California. Well, he sure bashes some subprime lenders.